Well, hello everyone. We are doing an awesome song today. One I remember from a kid, Just Once by James Ingram, a staple. I remember it was on the radio all the time. This is a little different. We're going to do melody in the right hand. The person that hired me to do this one wanted melody in the right hand. And so I have some of those that I do once in a while. Let's take a listen to it. Let me scroll. All right, so that's what we're doing today. This part one is going to be extensive. I've started making these longer, so they're not just an ad. I hate doing the promotion thing, but I have to. It's my job. But this is going to be one where you can actually learn quite a bit of this from the part one. You can have my sheet. If you look at the link in the description, you can listen to James Ingram sing it and to remind you what the song sounds like, and also a link to my sheet one here. You can get pretty far with it. So yeah, I got the melody in the right hand. Most of the time, people hire me to do stuff what is actually on the album, but this time the person wanted me to do my own arrangement of melody in the right hand, which I love because a lot of times I get hired to do covers, and I think, oh, I could do it better than that. So this time I actually got to do it. So I'm going to give you some options, show you how to play this. You can do it, a simpler way or a more complex way. It's going to be a lot of fun for a great song. Let's take a look. Let's dive right in. And if you are a member of the website, you can download all the sheets. There's quite a few. I can't remember how many, but there's a bunch. All right, so we're going to play the intro, of course. And I remember when I listened to this on Apple iTunes, I'm listening to it, the headphones on. I'm hearing, man, the piano sounds awful. It's because it's the way the pianos used to sound. The electric ones, they weren't. The technology was still kind of new, so you can really tell that it's not a real piano, even though the piano part's beautiful on it for sure. You can really tell that it's not a acoustic piano. So this one I have here today, the Kawai MP11 SE, sounds a lot like an acoustic piano. So the technology got much better, but you can just tell that in the original. So let's learn this intro, okay? We'll go through all the part one. Get a cup of coffee. This is gonna, take a little bit here. In fact, I got my cup of coffee and my daughter's cookie. She made some molasses cookies, so I've been munching on those, having some coffee this morning. It's gonna be a great morning for lessons. All right, so left hand. Okay, I always like to look at the left hand first. Why? Because it's the foundation of everything, and it's kind of the unsung hero. It's it's the thing you got to have down really well so that the right hand can shine, and it's just really good to tackle that left hand first because everyone's so afraid of it, and they feel like their left hand is not as good. Well, go at it first, and maybe you won't feel so much that way. C, G, E, G, D, G, E, G. See the pattern? When Mozart used to do. That's kind of what this is. It's just a kind of a more contemporary way to do it. It's called an Alberti bass. C, G, E. And I'm reaching that. You don't have to reach it. If you can't reach it, you just do this. And you swing back and forth. And so when you have a big reach like that, you can't see. If I did it with my right hand, you could see it. See how my elbow's coming out a little bit like that? And that's what you want to happen when you're covering distances. You want to have that circular motion. The worst thing to do is to get rigid and tight, and then it's even harder to play. Okay, so stay loose. The right hand starts with an E. 1. If you can make that right hand louder, okay? So if you're playing this and you say mine just doesn't sound like Shawn's or the album, it's probably because of the balance. You need the left hand to be softer, the right hand to be louder. Then it will sound like you want it to. It's that balance. Okay, if I played everything loud, it sounds very robotic and mechanical. Balance. All right, so C chord on the first one. C add 9 actually, with that D in there. Left, second measure, C, A, F, E, A, E, A, F. But see, the A is kind of your pivot note in the middle. In the first measure, it was G, now it's A. Okay. Right hand, G, A, F, C, B, A. And then we're going to have a rolled chord there. So, and as you're learning this, you learn one measure at a time, then put them together. Now practice the two measures. Now on the recording, it just kind of sounds weird when you hear it. If you put headphones on, you can hear it. The piano is obviously an electric piano from way back. There, can you? Yeah, you can see that now. So B, C, G, and you roll it. Okay, E, C, G, and the reason is because on those old pianos, when you would play softer, the attack would still be strong, even though the volume would be lower for a softly played note. So that's part of the reason. But you roll that up, B, C, G. Okay, that's kind of a C major 7 sounding chord. Now right hand C. Now the left hand comes up. That's why I have the dot, dot, dot thing. Okay? Hope you guys like the staff. I've kind of lightly put the staff behind so that people who are music readers, you go, oh, okay, that's what he's doing. That's what he's been doing all these years. And those of you who are used to my notation, it doesn't bother you having the staff back there, but you might learn something. Now B, C with the left hand, you go up high. So B, C, and then right hand goes G, G, G. Like that. So the measure is practice. Put it on a loop. That's one of my little sayings. Put it on a loop. And that just means you take a little part and you repeat it over and over again, back to back. You know, kind of like an Instagram video that just keeps looping. And that will help you. Make sure you're doing it correctly, though, because if you're playing it wrong, you're going to remember the mistake. Okay? So play it correctly. Okay? So add that in. I'm not going to do it here. I'll play the whole thing again at the end, but when you're practicing, hit pause. Okay? Don't say, oh, he's going too fast. No, I'm not. Hit your pause button so you can work on just what we worked on, and then you let it go again, okay? And you may be on these first 3 measures for a couple of days. That's normal, okay? Next measure. Now what I did, I don't hear the piano playing all those notes, but I hear the strings, okay? And they're part of the instrumentation of the chord. So when you're transcribing, if you ever do such a thing, you have to take account of the band, what they're playing, because they're part of the sound. And you can't say, well, I'm just going to play what the piano did. Okay, but then when you play piano solo, it's not going to sound quite right. Because of the instrumentation. And the person that's playing the piano probably would play it differently if they were by themselves. So you have to consider the band sound, the other notes that are going on in the composition. So that's part of the transcribing process. F, C, G, A, and I'm just going to turn my thumb sideways to play that A. If you can't just do this, okay, I've got a big hand and a very flexible hand. And if you can't reset, most people can't, just roll it like that. And if that's still too hard, just leave out the A. Just go. Okay? Right hand's going to go G, C, G. I'm going to roll that guy up. It's an octave and a fifth. C, 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 G, B, G, F. Left hand is G, D, F. And some of you, what you're stuck on are the moves. Okay? Once you're there, you can do it. It's like a guitar chord. Once you get the chord, then I can play it all day once I have it. These moves. Just kind of feel your way. So notice the moves when your hand has to move. Okay? And I'm kind of holding on to the key I'm on to judge a distance to the next key. Like if you're in the dark at night and you know your house and you just hold on to one thing to get to the next thing, right? always like, you ever in your own house and it's so dark, and you can't see, and you don't even know where you are in your room, and all of a sudden you touch a wall. I do that from time to time. Maybe that's just me. All right, then the singing's going to come in. So if we play the intro. So D, E, G, left hand C, G, E. Remember, roll the chord if you can't reach it. A lot of better piano players than me can't reach that, and they just roll it. Okay? I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. No, sounds like my son after I give him a chore. All right? I did my best. Now, on the melody, I have it an octave higher because he's really singing here. So this is one of the things you have control over in the arrangement is what octave you play it in. And typically, when a guy's singing and he's down this range, we want to bump it up. Same with guitar solos. If you transcribe a guitar solo to the piano, you'll typically play it an octave higher, okay? I'm telling you all my secrets here. E, G, E, that's a triplet. That's why I have a bracket. Triplet, da-da-da. And I really want these arrangements not to sound like elevator music, so I really work on that. E, A, 2, 5, left hand, F, C, A. When I have these long stretches, you can roll them every time. And if you can't, just play the octave. Just play C, G, C, or F, C, F. Okay, so you see that a lot. Play E, B, E instead of E, B, G. Works just fine. Right here, play D, A, D instead of D, A, F. If you can't roll it, if it's too far, start out this way. And you can start out that way and say later after I get it down, then I can start work on reaching out and playing it like that. That's fine. So E, A, left hand F, A, G, A, and I like putting a D in there. Real soft. The music does not do that, so I didn't feel comfortable putting in there, but I'm going to do it because I like it. Hear how I'm bringing out the melody and other things are soft? Okay, that's what you do to make it sparkle like a pro, is the balance. A, G, D, G with 1 and 2, left hand, E, B, G, or E, B, E if you can't reach it. Sounds just fine. Roll it or not roll it. D, 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 B, C, G, C with O, 1, 2, 5. Right after A, E, G, that's an A minor 7. G, G. So, I did my best. And you notice I'm playing my left hand a little more than what's written because this is just my guide. I can do filler, and all I'm doing in the filler is playing the notes I'm already on. Guys, all the vamping, 95% of it, is you're playing, again, the notes you're already on. It's a rhythm thing, playing the drums on the guitar, the piano, the guitar, the piano, the drums, just whatever instrument you're on, you're playing the notes you're already on, and it's a rhythm thing. It's not extra notes thing, okay? So, I did my best. Okay, so E, F, and then G, C, F. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up. G, C, F, left hand D, A, F, 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 A, and then, okay, and I'm just taking the chords from the song. A, D, A, G, G, E, G, left hand D, A, F, or D, A, D if you can't reach that. E, G, B. And as I'm holding that G, parentheses, I add B and D. Left hand goes to A minor 7. So I'll add the piano part whenever there's not a vocal line going on. So I'll weave it in and out. So if the piano's doing something cool and the vocal's not singing, I'm going to put it in there. But if the vocal's going, that's always paramount in this kind of arrangement. E, G, C. Okay? Let's go from the verse. 1. I did my best. 2. See my left hand keep playing, but I'm just doing what I'm doing here. This is where my method actually works better than traditional notation because I leave you room for imagination right here and don't clutter you up with things you have to do. If I wrote every note, then you would be concerned with playing all those little notes instead of just playing them for yourself in the spur of the moment. See, I did it different every time. Just start coming out of you that way. And now, all right, so E, G, A with my thumb, turn sideways, C, F, left hand D, A, F. These are lush chords, aren't they? Listen to that. E, F, E, C, F, A. Left hand goes to G, D, F, G, F on the left hand, B, D on the right. Okay. Now right here, I changed my octave. I'm not ready to do this. You can. In fact, you can bump that right hand up an octave if you want. That's your choice, okay? But for my choice, I wasn't ready to go higher yet, so I changed my octave. And the piano does that so good. For this arrangement, I love this sound right here in the middle of the piano. I like kind of that bluesy thing there in the middle of the piano instead of going up high. That's my choice. But if you want to go up here, you can. And we will later. But I didn't want to yet, okay? So I kept my octave lower. Change the octave. G, A, B, E, F, E. So you had E, B, E here, G sharp, E, G sharp, D, G, and then 2 and 5. And then I catch here with an A minor 7, E flat, D, C. You got to finesse that. That's bluesy, so don't go. But it's a little light feathery. And then E, C, or C, E on the right hand, G, E, G on the left. I put a P there for piano, so that means soft in Italian, so not so loud. Because it's just an afterthought. So you change the pedal, lightly do it. So F, A, 1, 3, left hand D, A, D, B, F, C, B, G, C, and then E, G, E, C, E. Okay? Hope you like that so far. So right here. Okay, let's do the whole thing. All right, guys, the key to learning to play your instrument is to play a lot of things that are easy to moderate level for you. A lot. Quantity, not quality. Quality maybe a little bit, but a lot of things. And then you'll start to get better in the process, on the journey. But if your goal is to get better, so I'm going to challenge myself, seen it so many times, the song is not going to make you better because you're skipping over a whole area of things that you need with those moderate songs. And even if you do learn to play it, it's going to take you a long time. It'll be hard. It'll be frustrating. And you'll always feel insecure about it. Okay? So again, a lot of songs that are easy to moderate for you, whatever your level is. And you say, well, I'm very beginner. There are lots of easy songs that are great songs. Let It Be by the Beatles. I'm about to do one like that. Disney Girls by the Beach Boys. That's another one that's not very beginner, but it's chord based. Okay, there's Imagine by John Lennon. The new Billy Joel song, Turn the Lights Back On. That's an easy one. There are tons of them that are good songs, so work on those, okay? A lot of songs that are in your wheelhouse. All right, so now we're going to play through this, okay? Here we go from the beginning. decided to bring your right hand up high there, which is totally fine. Here we go. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you on webpianoteacher.com. We'll do the whole thing. Talk to you later.